All right, let's get ready for another deep dive. And today we're tackling Eyeshield 21.
Okay.
You know, on the surface, it looks like a sports anime, and it definitely is.
Yeah.
But there's so much more going on.
Yeah, a lot more to it.
I think a lot of fans would agree with that. So you've got this main character, Sena Kobayakawa, and he's a timid high school kid. Kind of the stereotypical gopher, never the star.
Right.
Always trying to blend in. But that blending in thing is interesting because it's not just like a character trait. It actually speaks to a larger societal pressure when you say
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, this idea of the unsung hero, somebody who kind of stays in the background.
Right.
That's a really powerful archetype, and especially in a culture like Japan, that often emphasizes conformity. You know, humility, not standing out.
Yeah.
So Sena's struggle early on to kind of find his place, to break out of that mold.
Yeah.
That's something that really resonates with viewers, especially young people who are facing those same kinds of pressures, you know?
Absolutely. And then comes the twist, right? This seemingly ordinary kid, he's got blazing speed. And that's where Yoichi Hiruma comes in.
Right.
The quarterback of the Demon Devil Bats. But
Which
he's
is so much more.
more than just a quarterback. Right?
Oh, yeah. Hiruma is a fascinating character.
Yes.
I mean, he's this study in leadership, right? On the surface, he's manipulative.
Oh, yeah.
Almost Machiavellian.
Right.
Willing to bend the rules to get what he wants.
Right.
But underneath that, there's this deep passion for the sport and a real belief in his team's potential, you know?
Yeah.
It's a very different kind of leadership than what you usually see, and it makes you think, you know, is it okay to be this manipulative?
Right.
As long as you're getting results.
It pushes the boundaries.
It does.
And it definitely makes you question some of his methods.
Yeah.
For sure.
But he gets results.
He does. He brings out the best in those players.
He does, yeah. And speaking of unconventional, there's the whole Eyeshield 21 persona.
Right.
Like, talk about hiding in plain sight. Literally, yeah. The Eyeshield 21 mask, I mean, it looks cool, but it's actually this brilliant narrative device, I think. It lets Sena shed his timid persona, right?
Yeah.
Like literally and figuratively. He puts on the mask, and he can embrace that hidden talent. It's almost like a superhero origin story, right?
It is.
The mask gives him the confidence to actually step into his power.
It's a classic trope for sure. But it works so well here because it allows Sena to become someone else, right?
Yeah.
Someone bolder, more assertive. And it's not just about athletic ability. It's this whole journey of him discovering his own strength.
Right.
Finding his voice.
Absolutely. It's self-discovery that goes way beyond the football field, I mean.
Yeah.
It really speaks to the idea that we all have hidden potential just waiting to be unleashed, you know?
Yeah.
And sometimes we need that catalyst, that mask, to break free.
That is deep.
Right.
And then you've got the rest of the Devil Bats.
Oh, yeah.
This whole team of misfits.
Underdogs
who find their place, you know. There's Kurita, the gentle giant lineman.
Oh, yeah.
He's not your typical tough guy, is he?
No, not at all. Kurita's a great example of how Eyeshield 21 flips expectations on their head, right? I mean, this guy, he's physically imposing.
Yeah.
He could just rely on brute strength, but he doesn't. He's incredibly kind, supportive. It challenges that stereotype of what a powerful character should be. It shows that real strength comes from within.
Yeah, he's definitely the heart of the team.
He is, yeah.
And then you've got Monta, right? Aspiring to be this top receiver. And Riku, Sena's childhood friend and rival. It's this whole cast of characters, each with their own dreams. Motivations. And that's one of the things that I think makes the show resonate so strongly, right?
Absolutely. Every character, they have their own arc, their own challenges. And it's not just about individual growth. It's about how those individual journeys weave together, you know, to create something bigger.
Yeah, it's like the whole is greater than the sum of its parts.
Exactly.
And it's not just the Devil Bats either.
No.
The opposing teams have depth.
Right.
They have complexity. You've got Seijuro Shin, the captain of the Oho White Knights, who's like Hiruma's opposite.
Right. Yeah, Shin represents a completely different approach to leadership. He's meticulous, focused, and his rivalry with Hiruma really highlights that there are multiple paths to success.
Yeah.
It makes you think, is it better to be brilliant but reckless? Or disciplined but maybe not as adaptable?
Interesting question.
Yeah.
And then there's Aegon Kongo, right? The star player of the Shinryu Naga.
Oh, yeah.
This guy's like a walking highlight reel.
Yeah, he's all talent, right? Natural talent.
Yeah, but he's also got this massive ego.
Huge ego. He's almost a cautionary tale, right? Because his arrogance actually hinders his growth. It shows that talent alone isn't enough.
Yeah.
His clashes with Sena are epic.
Yes.
Because it's this battle between natural ability and hard work.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a classic anime trope, but it's handled really well.
It is.
Because it goes beyond who's the best, right?
Yeah.
It's about that self-improvement and pushing your limits.
Yeah.
And speaking of pushing limits...
Oh, the training montages.
The training montages in this show are insane.
Yeah, they're a highlight, for sure.
Yeah.
They're not your typical drills.
No.
They're so creative and challenging and often hilarious. Do you remember when Hiruma sent the team to that boot camp in the mountains?
Oh, yeah.
Or when they had to practice on a moving truck to improve their agility?
Oh, yeah.
It's not just physical conditioning, you know?
Right.
It's mental toughness.
Yeah, and they tie into that larger theme of discipline and dedication, which applies to anything you're trying to achieve. Right?
Absolutely. Whatever your goal is, whether it's a sport, a creative pursuit, anything, it takes that hard work.
Yeah.
Perseverance, pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone.
And the results are inspiring. You see these devil bats go from a ragtag group of newbies to a real force. But we're just getting started. We've got to talk about the visual style, the cultural impact, the lasting legacy of Eyeshield 21. So stay tuned, because we're just warming up.
Absolutely.
One of the things that really blew me away with Eyeshield 21 was how they handled the visuals.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. This is a show about American football.
Right.
A sport that most Japanese viewers probably weren't super familiar with.
Yeah, definitely not mainstream.
So the animators, they had to find a way to make it exciting, but also understandable.
And they nailed it.
They did.
They captured the speed, the power, that strategic complexity. It's like, you don't have to be a football expert to get it.
Totally. And it's those dynamic camera angles, right? The way they use speed lines and impact frames to really sell those tactics.
Oh, yeah. It's like a comic book coming to life.
It is. It really is.
Yeah.
And the character designs themselves.
So good.
They're so memorable, right? Like Sena's small stature, his determined look, Hiruma with that almost demonic grin.
Right.
Kurita, the gentle giant, and Manta, reaching for those impossible catches.
They really nailed the visual storytelling.
They did, for sure. So let's shift gears a bit and talk about the cultural impact of Eyeshield 21.
Okay.
Because this wasn't just a popular anime. It had real-world effects.
It did, yeah. It's interesting how it kind of coincided with a growing interest in American football in Japan. Before the show, it was pretty niche.
Right.
But Eyeshield 21 brought it to a whole new audience.
Yeah, it made it cool.
It did, especially for young people.
Exactly. And it wasn't just about watching the anime. People started playing the sport.
Yeah, joining leagues, forming teams.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's a testament to the power of stories, right?
Yeah.
Eyeshield 21 didn't just entertain. It sparked this real interest in a sport that many had never even considered.
Yeah. And that impact is still felt today.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, you see the influence in other sports anime that came after, like Haikyuu, Kuroko, No Basket.
Yeah.
They all share that focus on character development, teamwork, and that drive for excellence.
Right, but each with its own unique spin on the sport.
Exactly.
I think Eyeshield 21 paved the way for a whole new wave of sports anime. Ones that went beyond just the competition itself and explored the human stories.
Yeah.
Showed that it could be about personal growth, overcoming adversity. Those bonds formed through shared passion.
And it brings us back to those training montages.
Oh, yeah.
Pushing the characters and us as viewers to the limit.
Right.
They're not just about building muscle.
No.
They're about building character.
And they're so well woven into the story, not just filler episodes.
Right.
They're crucial to the character's development and that overall theme of pushing past your limits.
You see Sena struggling to control his speed.
Yeah.
Kurita pushing his physical limits. Manta honing those catching skills.
And the whole team coming together to overcome these impossible challenges.
Yeah. It's a visual representation of their dedication, their resilience.
That unwavering commitment to becoming better.
Both individually and as a team.
And I think that's what resonates, right?
Yeah.
We all have our own training montages in life.
Totally.
Those moments where we're tested, pushed, and we got to dig deep to find the strength.
It's that universal struggle.
Yeah.
Overcoming adversity to achieve something meaningful.
That's what makes those scenes so powerful.
And it's not just physical, it's mental.
Right.
It's teamwork. It's believing that anything is possible if you put in the work.
Eyeshield 21 reminds us that success isn't just about talent. It's about the journey, the struggles, the setbacks, and that determination to never give up.
Okay, before we hit the final part of our Eyeshield 21 deep dive, Let's talk about the Christmas Bowl for a second.
All right.
The ultimate goal for the Devil Bats and every other high school team in Japan. Right. It's not just a random tournament.
No, it's more than just the national championship.
Yeah.
It's the pinnacle, a dream for so many athletes.
And the fact that it's called the Christmas Bowl adds another layer, don't you think?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Not just a coincidence that it's during that time of year.
Right.
Associated with hope, dreams, believing in the impossible.
Yeah, it's a clever way to tie the narrative to something culturally significant.
It adds this emotional weight.
It does.
The Christmas Bowl becomes this symbol.
Yeah.
A beacon of hope for those who dare to dream big.
It really encapsulates everything Eyeshield 21 is about, right?
It does.
The pursuit of excellence, the power of teamwork, that belief in yourself and your teammates.
And the idea that anything is possible.
Yeah, if you set your mind to it.
All against the backdrop of this exciting, high-stakes sport that captured a nation's imagination.
Speaking of lasting legacy, that's exactly what we'll be tackling in the final stretch of our deep dive.
All right.
We'll explore why Eyeshield 21 still resonates years after its conclusion. Stay with us, because this show is more than just a touchdown. It's a cultural touchstone.
It is.
That reminds us of the power of dreams, perseverance, and the thrill of chasing those impossible goals. All right, so we've talked about Sena's journey, Hiruma's wild tactics, the awesome visuals, and how the show really impacted Japan.
A lot, yeah.
But the big question is, why does Eyeshield 21 still matter? What makes it stick with fans all these years later?
Well, I think it comes back to what we were saying before, those universal themes.
Right.
You know, personal growth, finding your place, believing in yourself and the people around you.
Yeah, it's like those classic underdog stories.
Exactly.
Everyone loves those. You see these characters, they start as total newbies.
Right.
Facing impossible odds, but with hard work, dedication, a little bit of luck, they overcome everything.
And Eyeshield 21 does a great job of balancing that inspiration with humor.
Yeah.
Action, genuine emotion.
Yeah.
You're laughing one minute, cheering the next. You get invested, you know?
Totally. It's infectious.
It is.
And it's not just about the individual characters either.
No, it's that teamwork.
Right, like realizing you can achieve more together.
The Devil Bats are the perfect example.
They are.
This mismatched group.
Yeah.
Different strengths, different weaknesses, but they learn to support each other, trust each other.
And they become more than a team.
Yeah, it's like a family.
That camaraderie, the bond they form, that goes beyond the sport, right?
Absolutely.
It's like a reminder that we all need that kind of support.
Yeah, people who believe in us challenge us.
Help us be our best.
Exactly.
And it's not just the main characters.
No, the supporting cast is fleshed out too.
They have their own stories, their own dreams.
Right, even the rival teams.
You find yourself rooting for them even when they're clashing with the Devil Bats.
It's that empathy, that understanding that everyone's fighting their own battles.
Adds another layer to the show.
Makes the conflicts matter more.
Yeah.
The victories feel better.
And the losses hit harder.
Oh yeah, because you get the stakes, the emotions.
So it all comes back to that enduring appeal. Eyeshield 21 is fun, it's exciting, but it also makes you think.
Right.
It's action-packed, it's funny, but it also explores teamwork, perseverance, chasing those dreams.
It reminds us that anyone can achieve amazing things.
Yeah.
If they have the courage to push themselves.
Embrace those hidden talents.
Find the people who believe in them.
Well said. So I think that wraps up our deep dive into Eyeshield 21.
I think so.
Hopefully we've given you a new appreciation for this show.
Yeah, shed some light on why it's so beloved.
And maybe even inspired you to find your own inner Eyeshield 21.
That hidden potential waiting to be unleashed.
Remember, it's never too late to chase those dreams, step onto the field, and give it your all.
With passion, determination, and a whole lot of heart.
That's perfect. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Thanks for having me.
We'll catch you in the next episode, where we'll tackle a whole new topic, uncover more hidden gems.
Looking forward to it.
Until then, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep pushing those limits.